Hi everyone, 𝗖𝗣𝗜 Biniaz here with CPI Academy. I'm joined by 𝗖𝗑𝗫 Benesocky. Welcome, Ava.
Thank you, August.
We host CPI Academy YouTube show dedicated to adding value to our viewers' investment journey. We bring on expert guests and discuss all topics related to real estate investing. So we hope you enjoy today's video.
Wonderful. Thank you, August. And hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Today, we are joined by our good friend, Monika Jazayk. She's a wealth builder and founder of Real Property Investments. She's an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, and a television personality, and a mother, which is incredible how you keep up with everything. So welcome.
Welcome, Monika.
Thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Monika, why don't we just start off by you telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, I'm Monika Jazayk. I'm in Toronto, Ontario. So I'm on the other side of Canada. And like Ava said, I am a wealth builder and founder of Real Property Investments, which we aim to educate and empower Canadians, Americans, Australians, people all across the globe about taking control of their finances and starting to create their best life.
Awesome. Great. Maybe you can kind of take us a step farther back and tell us what was your start in real estate and how that transitioned into real property investments. We're helping investors and coaching and advising. Walk us through that if you don't mind, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Vaughn and I started investing in real estate because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I was home with kids and that's the job I wanted to do. And he was working a great job, making great income. And we noticed it was really still hard to get by on one salary. So when I put finances to the forefront and started exploring how we were growing our money through the traditional way, it really slapped me in the face when I realized that the only way that we are going to be able to really live the lifestyle we want, as well as be able to afford to retire and help our kids out with their university educations or helping with becoming homeowners or even giving them some sort of estate, was for me to go full-time to work as well. And I was thinking, wow, so if it takes 2 six-figure salaries to just get by, what the heck is everyone else doing? So I read a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which really put me in a total tailspin because it taught me all about the importance of real estate and why real estate really is the #1 asset class. And I love that book. And it won't teach you how to invest in real estate, but it really just totally made my financial knowledge did a total 180 and learn how archaic traditional financial planning advice is this day and age, such as, go to work harder and longer, you're getting taxed more, set 10% aside and just grow it in bank products or GICs and pay off all your mortgage as fast as you possibly can. All this advice really is not serving people today. So when we started investing in real estate, we saw why real estate is the #1 asset class, and it really led us to a life of financial freedom. So I'm still home with these 4 kids now, and our oldest is 17. So I've been a stay-at-home mom for 17 years now, and Vaughn is home as well because of real estate and the way we built our investment portfolio and started our business. On his 40th birthday, he was able to go to his employer and leave his job.
Incredible.
So,
incredible. And I love how Monika, they have this quote everywhere, which I love saying, we help real people build real wealth through real estate. So
Awesome quote.
Awesome.
And the great part of your story is about the transition. So if there are groups out there and other platforms where the background is banking or finance, your background was having an everyday job, realizing that, hey, this is not going to suffice. And then you guys made that transition, and now that you're helping others, is coming from that background is individuals that were able to make that transition themselves. So it's great to have that background, but yeah.
Because I never had any financial or business background at all. I studied sociology and family and child studies. I was supposed to be a family and marriage therapist. And then I ended up getting my master's degree in teaching, and I never even taught full time. I was finishing my degree. So, and when Vaughn and I got married and had our first child, and we made that decision. So most people don't know anything about finances, and they're totally dependent on what's put in front of them. I think a whole world, it's so good that you do this podcast, because it really exposes people to a whole world out there of options that people really do not know are out there. They're just not aware of these options. And we started out knowing nothing. And that has been my greatest asset to this day, is the fact that I feel like I'm the people's people, in the sense that we started with nothing. So we are the real person. That's why we call it Real Property Investments, because we are real people. We are here. We did everything we were told we were supposed to do. We did well in school. We studied hard. We went to university. We got jobs. We did everything we were supposed to do. And we were still suffering. So I do work with the best people in the business, yourselves included. And I have brilliant professionals that have amazing licenses, and they're real estate agents, and they're EMDs, and they're fund managers like yourselves. And they have so much brilliance and so much to share. And I love to sit next to them and strategize with the people and really be able to break down a lot of these concepts that really seem unachievable to the general public, to people like me who just didn't get it. And a confused mind does not act. So if you present someone with a concept like an apartment syndication, people are going to go, whoa, what the heck is an apartment syndication? That sounds like it's for rich people, not for little old me. I don't know about that. So I think it really comes down to exposure and education, and truly understanding these concepts taught to you in layman's terms, not because people are unintelligent, but because the majority of investments do not need to be complex. They are fairly simple. What you guys do is a simple strategy, which is amazing. Yes, it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of brains behind it, but people have access to amazing strategies, and they have access to professionals. They just don't know it.
Yeah, no, great points. And let's focus a bit on real property investments, and let's kind of do a look at how does it work when somebody joins real property investments as a training platform, as a coaching platform. Walk us through that, so they, if you may, please.
For sure, yes. So Real Property and Investments wants to help people educate and empower people. And there's different levels that people can participate in our programs in. So we have 3 different membership levels. We have an education and events membership level, and this is the most basic level that someone can join, and it really exposes them to monthly events. So we have events every single month from chapters that we run, and you two are the facilitators of our Vancouver chapter, because we have expanded all across Canada as well as the US, and now we're out in Australia as well. That's starting next month, so it's exciting. But we have amazing facilitators like yourself running these clubs, and presenters and experts talking on really important topics to help people build wealth. And we also have the training tools and information on the site so people can access cash flow analyzers or comparable property analyzers, watch extra videos, watch all the videos we've done, and find information. Now, we never used to have this level of membership before, because we used to only do things one way, which is the most elaborate way that we do it now. On the other end of the spectrum, we have our personal group coaching, where we will talk to individuals and intake them, analyze their entire situation, and help them figure out what it is they're looking to do, and create a wealth plan that they are able to transact on using our experts today. So someone asked me once, well, how long would it take me to transact on a property? And I said, if you do your wealth plan and you're ready to invest, you have the buying power, you have the money, like we could see what you're capable of doing, there's no reason to not be closed on a property in 6 weeks. That's how easy it can be. So from viewing these plans, we're able to help them strategize to really achieve their freedom goals. So not everyone was ready for that stage, which is why we brought on the education and events as well, because there's so much misinformation out there. I was terrified and I was really tired of people coming to me, and I'd rather help people accelerate and build their wealth than putting out fires and fixing mistakes they learned from other investment specialists and investment clubs. And it felt like so bad for them. It was such a waste of time. And I know the internet's a great place out there, and there's so many books, and there's so many podcasts, and there's so much information and stuff. But a lot of the real estate information that was received, especially from some bigger real estate clubs, really wasn't working. I think it was more designed to make real estate sales or to get people to partner and do these sort of investments. It wasn't a client-centric view, which is really what we are. We're here for the people. So we thought, you know what, if they're not ready to actually, because it's a big deal to go through a transformational coaching session, to really, you know, have that wealth plan developed. It is a big deal. You have to really be ready, because we will encourage you to transact. There's no reason after you go through that, you will build wealth after that one call, because we will have solutions, whatever your situation is. So that's why we had that membership. And then we have one more, which is group coaching. And that's when people come on, and it's more of a Q&A. So once again, it's more for the DIYers, we call them. We love DIYers. We think you're great, you're smart, you're productive. But if you really want to get to the next level, you want to be with the top 2% coaching, and you want a coach. I think we were kind of talking about this earlier before we hopped on the podcast. You know, we have a coach for every area of our life. There's very little that I'm in charge of in my own life. You know, I always like to work with people that are better than me at whatever it is. And that way I'm always performing at that top level.
Bringing on the experts. And kind of my story with Monika is when we connected, and she said she wanted to you know, grow here in the West Coast in Vancouver. And then she's like, I want you to introduce me to the best real estate lawyer you have. And then I'm like, okay, you know, I noticed that about her right away, that you know, you're saying that you didn't come from a big corporate background and what have you, but what I got to give you the accolades for is the ability to find, you know, to connect with these experts and bringing on the best at what they do to build, you know, what you've built so far. And just to go over that membership or that kind of coaching, the top tier coaching program that you have. So somebody comes on board, you guys do an assessment right away of what is their investment goal, what is their plan, what is their background, what is their activity level, if they want to be an active or passive investor, what is their risk tolerance. And depending on the decision that you make as the coach and the student, then throughout that process, whatever it is they want to invest in, you also provide the consultants, advisors, and professionals and experts needed for the whole process, and you're there monitoring that person's performance and their journey through that investment. That's another process I want to kind of touch on. If you may also add to it, please.
Yeah, our experts are incredible, and I can't thank you enough. When we first met you, we wanted to expand to British Columbia, and we started the chapter in Vancouver. I was so glad our paths crossed, because you've introduced us, and I researched yourself, I researched CPI, and I was really impressed with what you were doing. And I remember we had that first conversation about your apartment syndication projects and your history in real estate, in development, in all different aspects. And I thought, wow, this guy is, not only is he a hotshot and knows what he's doing, but it's also the authenticity and the genuine kindness of yourself and Ava. We deal with the smartest people in the business, true successful people, not the most popular person or whoever has the biggest YouTube channel or whatever. This is real experts who are, look at your house. You are living your dream. You know, you have your adults report card there. It's not just people who walk, like they don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk, but they're not jerks. They're nice, down to earth, authentic people. I think everyone has to remember where they come from. And you always come from a point of giving. You give your time, you give your knowledge, and you're always sharing. Look at you with this podcast, with all the amazing platforms that CPI offers. It's incredible, you guys, what you do. And I think that everyone that we work with in the real property investments group of experts, and like I said, these experts expand all across the globe. They all have that in common. They're top players, top performers who are incredibly humble and down to earth.
And they're available for all your students to reach out to, and they're there. And how is that connection made? Is there a is there a website where people can go connect? Hey, or they gotta contact you. Hey, I'm looking for a lawyer to do a conveyancing in this city, or how does that work?
So we do have that actually on our members only site. We have a sponsor page, and you just type in what area or what you're looking for. You totally could do that. We also have a Facebook members only page. We'd encourage people to ask in the chat and reach out because we have our experts on there as well. And we are always available by email. We're a very personal group as well. And usually I'll come back and I'll say, yeah, I'd love to connect you with the lawyer in BC, Richard Leding, say, but ask on the member site as well, just so other people know too. And so I always try to push them back out there, because if it's a question or if it's anything, we're always approachable. We're here to help. But normally people ask those questions, or we have all that available on the online platform, but we do not leave people alone to figure it out themselves. So personal group clients are coming on once a month, and all we do, we have notes on their file, and we'd be like, okay, August-Neva, you said you want to buy a buy, rent, hold property, and I connected you with Keaton Kirkwood. And thanks to you for connecting me to Keaton, actually. And he's guiding you on the Smith maneuver. And he says he was going to qualify you for this home. Did you find out your buying power? And there you'd be like, yes, I did. It's $900,000. That's amazing. Let's bring that to Colvin. And he's going to take you to show you some legal duplex conversions in Victoria. Your homework until next month is to meet with him, walk some of these properties, and come back with the news. So it really is these action steps that people are taking. They come on every month, but in between that, in the group coaching, say if you went and saw those properties with Colvin and say you liked a specific model, but you had a couple of questions, we do have that group Q&A coaching also every week. We just jump on for an hour, and you'd be like, hey, yeah, I have a question. I was looking at this property and the basement seemed a little funny. What are your thoughts on that? And we have other experts on there as well, and deals, and you get those questions answered, because I think we keep people in the loop and are there to answer their questions. It's very, very a customized coaching session for sure.
That's an incredible platform to have, because I know when it comes to people wanting to put their money somewhere, it's such chaos in their minds. They just don't know which way, and then they give up, and essentially they don't end up getting their money working for them, and they don't take that next step because they're just totally stuck.
Too much information coming at them. And also, that's another thing about your platform, where there's multiple investment vehicles that exist. If it's a duplex, if it's a fix and flip, if it's, like what we do, apartment syndication, or other type of investment vehicles that exist. But now, instead of just having this information coming at you and say, hey, this seems interesting, I want to invest in this type of vehicle, but then your team is there to kind of do the checks and balances to see, if it makes sense, and have that, the team, like, again, just like how you said, today in this world is we bring on experts for every aspect of our life. If it's personal trainer, if it's, cyclist coaches or what have you. So now
sports coaches, I have tennis coaches.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
You really do have a coach for everything.
I do. I seriously have a coach for everything. I love it. And it lets you perform at that next level for sure.
Great. Awesome. And now I want to talk more about your, obviously you've expanded across Canada.
And the US.
And now I want to talk about that kind of international expansion. And again, it goes on your ability to connect with the right person, to delegate tasks and bring on the experts. So talk to us about that expansion, how that is going, also about Australia as well, please.
Excellent. So when originally we started Real Property Investments 11 years ago, we were just starting as investors. We didn't know anyone. And it started as a community to meet other people. And we started the club in Toronto. It was in person, and it expanded, slowly evolved over the years. And then it ended up, speakers started coming to us and saying, can we present? So then we had to get a room. And then we were looking for joint venture partners. That was the premise at that point. It was slowly evolving. And Vaughn and I were evolving on our real estate journey as well. And we met a lot of our experts by coming to the group, and they were coming in the room, and we started sharing experts with different people as well. So we really have grown a lot alongside our experts as well. So that went on, and Real Property Investments turned from just this free, fun meetup to meet people to eventually it was in a very established golf and country club, a very amazing setting. People are paying $40 to attend events, which is a lot of money to come to an informational seminar. But we really had nailed down with the networking component, the attendance of our experts. So when people come to a Real Property Investments event, they're not just meeting other people, and they're not just listening to the speaker or us. They are forced to network with like-minded people and our experts as well. Our first question is, hey, who would you like to meet tonight? Well, I do have a mortgage question. We'll come over here. This is Keaton. He is here at this event. So we were really, really helping people by connecting them like that, then followed by a nice presentation, and then more networking. And this really was a proven concept that really helped people be transactional. And that's how we started. So as we grew this in Toronto, we noticed that people were traveling from 2-hour radiuses from all different parts of Ontario. So we opened up a chapter in Barrie alongside our real estate specialist in Barrie. And every month we'd also meet in Barrie. And we really got out in that Barrie Simcoe community. The next one was in Burlington, where our Hamilton and our St. Catharines specialists would run with us. And they would do their area market updates, keep us informed. So we had 3 clubs, and then we expanded to Kitchener-Waterloo as well as Peterborough. So we were running 5 investment clubs. We were running all across Ontario, Vaughn and I. And
How long ago was this particular
this was
time?
just before COVID-19.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay.
And so just before COVID, we were hosting these 5 events a month in all these high growth areas, driving all around. Each club was growing, and all of a sudden, and everyone always getting their coaching on the online platform as well, because we do have a lot of people who aren't living in the area. And all of a sudden COVID hit. And we thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We have a responsibility to uphold. We have events. We still need to give people their information. So when we switched online, I thought, wouldn't it be a really neat opportunity to test other areas in Canada and see their response to Real Property Investments? So just by doing some market testing, I realized that there really is a need, and we started a chapter in British Columbia, which you guys are facilitating and you are so great at. And we opened up one in Calgary. We have John Bauman, who's our Calgary specialist. He's fantastic as well as the Maritimes, where we have Angela Conrad running from Halifax. So we started testing those, and we spent the summer testing that out, seeing what's happening, seeing what the need is. And then come September, just started running all the events online as our own individual clubs and preparing to get back. I don't know when we're going to get back to in person. We'll always keep the online component, but I think we will eventually have some sort of in-person thing as well. So after we did this in Canada, and I remember you participated in our showcase where we had all of our virtual showcase, all of our brand new speakers and facilitators, which was so fun. We expanded actually through the US. So then we opened up 6 chapters in the US, and they're all high growth areas. We have New York, LA, Atlanta, Texas, Tampa, and Las Vegas.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean we do real estate in each one of these areas. We're here to serve those people in those areas. So once again, we're figuring out where the best spots to invest in the US are. What is the best investment models in US real estate, and where are the best experts? So when American people who have the same struggle that Canadian people are having come to us, we are able to actually align them with living, breathing human beings with actual investment opportunities that we can match them to that is a good fit so they can reach whatever their goals are.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing. You also mentioned about joint venture. So now, has there been any stories you can share, or members of groups where two members want to do a fix and flip, and then it just ends up being synergistically perfect for them, and since they're already part of the group, now they're going to do this business together? If you have any stories as such, or any kind of collaboration that has come about from being a member with your clubs, if you can share.
Absolutely. I love joint ventures. I think it's a great way. I'll tell you what we don't do, because we're not real estate agents, is we don't match people together who should not be together just to expand their buying power. So I, as an agent, can make more money. Disaster zone. I think people need to be very picky over who their joint ventures are. And I think it can be very powerful. And when people at Real Property Investments do joint venture with each other, the only reason that we are very involved in the process, and the only reason that they consider to do that, is because we've suggested it, because they've gone through the intake, they have a genuine relationship where they know each other and they trust our capabilities to suggest the partnership because we know their personalities. Right. So joint ventures are really hard. It's like being married to someone, and they last a really, really long time. And joint ventures want different things. And there's a lot of people out there that are encouraging joint ventures just to help people be more and more and more transactional. Whereas at Real Property Investments, the investment strategies that we're advising on doesn't require you to have to be so transactional. It really is powerful if you're doing buy, rent, hold real estate, or you're self-directing or growing your savings in, say, apartment syndication opportunities like yourself. The opportunities are very powerful to make a difference. There's not a need to have 100 properties or 10 properties. We show how one property can recreate your entire financial plan. If you get one property and you buy it at the age of 40 and just simply pay off your mortgage until you're 65, and this is a $375,000 property, natural appreciation at 5% a year, this is going to be worth $1.25 million. So this is a huge bump in people's wealth plans. And if they have two of those, I mean, that's $2.5 million. If you have your personal residence, you're a multimillionaire. So it doesn't even require a JV. Yeah. So normally the people who are looking for the JVs, and sometimes we'll match them up for fun when they're between things. So let's pretend I have someone and I know they have $500,000 that's just sitting there because they're waiting to do another opportunity, and someone needs to borrow it for 2 months. We could definitely make that suggestion, and there's no expense and no cost to them. We do not make money off our members that way. But we would say, hey, listen, like, are you interested in this 15%? Because so-and-so is actually doing this and they need this. And I vetted this project and it's a really solid project. And is this something you're interested in? And a lot of the times they will do that, because when your money is not circulating, your money is losing value. And as a real estate investor, you're not always investing in real estate. A lot of what we do for our members is maintaining and then planning to add on, because once it's gone, the down payment money, and you have to move to the next step, you're really in that maintenance phase until you reach stage 2, which is really important. Yeah. So joint ventures can be great, but normally when people do want to buy a lot of properties, we really peg it as their real estate business. And we train them how to create an extra residual income from there by doing a lot of active real estate. And when you do get to a point and you are doing a lot of active real estate, you do reach a level of expertise where you shouldn't be using your own money anymore. You should be using your knowledge, and you've really reached that point. And that's what we really educate people on, because a lot of people come to us, they say, I have no money, so I'm going to just go out and get joint ventures to buy money. And I say, that's a horrible idea. Unless you have a joint venture partner who knows you and loves you and will forgive you if you lose everything, you can't do that. You can't expect people to go in with no money and no buying power and be someone's guinea pig. Yep. So I said, we could train you how to do models. We could show you how it's done. And we even had one young investor join, and he went through all of our real estate education. He learned how to do these models. And we have a joint venture course as well that teaches you how to package the information to get joint ventures. And he went through and did all that. And he found a joint venture partner. And he actually did his JV split because, you know, it was a new investment and it was someone he actually knew. So I was comfortable with that match. But most of the time, you know, the JV splits could be 50-50 or 70-30. And our side, we do normally 50-50 because we look at it as all the pieces of a puzzle. But he did 90-10 them. It was a friend of the family sort of thing. They understood that he was learning and he has the knowledge. But that investor also went in there and they were pretty with it. So which is why it worked. But it was really great to see the joint venture. But it was so funny because they knew that they were taking a risk working with a total newbie. And so they went 90% and he got 10. He was happy with his 10%. Sometimes you can take 1%. You have to learn. Learning is doing. And until you become an expert yourself, I mean, you really shouldn't learn on other people's dime. And I see a lot of people out there teaching that, saying it doesn't matter if you don't have money, you can invest and you can just find these partners and you can just do it. That would be like the two of you with your apartment syndications that, okay, let's just go find an apartment building. We don't first one and raising capital and you have never done this before. It would be, you know, crazy.
Crazy.
So
Absolutely.
For sure. No, you definitely, I mean, and that's another thing that just listening to you speak about it and listening to hands-on and the care that exists between yourselves and your you know, the members is truly incredible. I started in real estate 16 years ago, maybe a bit more now. And I wish there was such a coaching program that I could kind of join with and learn and have a whole team around me and decide, hey, which one of these real estate vehicles I want to either become an expert in or invest in and learn from everybody around me.
And have that support when you have a question or when you need to find the right person, a mortgage broker, a lawyer, because that's a huge thing too. As a contractor, you know, if you hire the wrong roofer, you're shopping around. Well, then it's even more chaos. So you guys literally hold somebody's hand and walk them through. I mean, everybody needs you guys.
Absolutely, and that's why we love it. We
property
our partnership. I'll say it on record here that there's no payments, you know, going between us as our partnership between us and Real Property Investments. We love the concept. Yes. We love investors looking to, at any level, looking to get involved in real estate, looking to grow in real estate, looking to become full-time active investors, to be part of a program where it teaches them. We happen to be one of the facilitators here in BC. We happen to have our own investment vehicle where we partner with investors to purchase assets in the US, and we present that to to people that come on your shows, and then they can make a decision between all these different type of vehicles that exist. That, hey, which one of these I want to invest in? Which one of these ideas do I believe in? Is it private lending? Is it fix and flipping? Yeah. Is it, you know, investing in a mortgage investment corporation? Is it investing with August and Ava to buy multifamily in the US? And through each one, they have Monika there, hands on, saying, hey. Yeah.
What do you feel most comfortable doing? What do you want to learn most about? And here we go.
Possibly past performances as well. Maybe a certain group has not done really well for a certain time. And then I'm sure you would step in and say, hey, the profits hasn't been there for this group, or on their last deal, there wasn't that much profit. So
the people that follow Monika know that the people that she's bringing on board, they can trust, like they're good people. So that's really nice too. You're like, hey, I have another investment opportunity for you, and they know right away that it's not anything fishy.
And we don't have a lot of investment opportunities either. We really pick and choose who we work with. So we only have so many of each kind. Otherwise, you have the proverbial trench coat. You know, you want to buy a watch, you want to buy this, you want to buy. So we don't want to confuse people, but I absolutely love people like yourself doing the apartment syndication model. Multifamily real estate, especially at the caliber that you're doing it, is a very, very lucrative model, but it's very, very difficult. And what I love about our experts at Real Property Investments is they're so focused. That's all you do, is you're focusing on your projects, because it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of brain power to really do it right. And it's so fun to follow along and hear what you're up to, hear what projects you're on, and then help promote those projects. So then when people come along and they want to grow their money, or we do the intakes, we always present that as an option. That apartment syndication is a great way for people to participate in larger products, but also in US real estate. US real estate is a really, really attractive option for Canadian investors. And it's not easy to really get in. We do have a great team in the US, but there's a lot of obstacles that people have to do to encounter it, from tax perspectives, from the mortgaging the properties, from managing at a distance. A lot of my clients come to me at Real Property Investments members saying that they want to have multifamily in the US. And I say, I think that's a horrible idea. Why not have multifamily with August and Ava in the US?
We'll take care of the whole back end, which is a lot.
Exactly, because it's
buyer's
tough. It's not easy. It's not easy. There's the US, everyone wants to have US real estate in their portfolio to a certain extent. Apartment syndications, private funds, whatever it is you're doing, that's a great option to invest in these markets, in the apartment sector, which is a huge growing sector, much needed, much in demand. And don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Work with the coaches, work with the experts, go live your life. We want people living their life, not running to Massachusetts to tenant a dilapidated 10-plex with tenants gone wild or something.
Definitely. So focusing back on real property investments. So currently, how many events do you guys have, and how are those events formatted? And please tell me that. I have some more questions as well.
So right now we have 5 events a month. When Australia starts up, it's going to be 6 events. And what we're doing, because people are so Zoom overloaded, is that we are doing them provincial across Canada. So each month we have our Maritimes. So we do have a new group out in New Brunswick as well, but the Maritimes reflects the Halifax, the New Brunswick. The Ontario, rather than having those 6 chapters individual, we have 1 Ontario. And then we have Winnipeg actually just came on board. We haven't done events there yet, but we're just slowly building that club, the Manitoba branch. Calgary does come live, and yourselves, British Columbia, also comes live. And we do a lot of different parts of BC, but right now we're really just focusing on each one of the provinces as a whole. But if people want to invest in different sectors of the area, we definitely have the experts available and the boots on the ground. Now with the US, we have those clubs, but rather than doing a separate event every single month for those clubs, we have our US facilitator, who's Lucy Moy. She's in Atlanta, and she does a presentation every month, just like you guys do. And we have one topic for the US, but we've started doing little extras. And I think we need to do another one of these extras too, which really go back to basics and that micro level for people who are actually just in that community. We've been trying to slowly get ready to integrate back to in-person and do things a little more organic. I can never see the Zoom going away. I could always see a national presentation happening every month for the areas. But also we're going to start having little extras going on, and hopefully those extras talking about specific areas and getting people in person again and networking and, building those relationships in person as well as online. That's what we're going to be aiming to do.
Exciting.
Well,
Five events per month right now in Canada. And these events are hosted by different provinces. And do the members get to go to any of the events they wish, or
they can go to all the Canadian, the US, Australia starts next month. So they can start doing we're going to just do one Australia. I know we have 4 clubs in Australia now, but we're just slowly integrating. We're just going to have one Australian presentation. But the Australians can come to the Canada, the US events, Canadians can come to everywhere. We even have a club for international investors, Germany, Beijing, and Singapore. And those are more for international investors. It's difficult to grow their money in those areas. So they're dependent on US, Canadian, Australian opportunities. So we are growing that. And the UK has actually been really keen. We have a lot of new UK members, and they love to grow their money in Europe, but a lot of them are also looking to grow their money overseas as well, which is really exciting. And each event actually is done 3 times a month.
Okay.
So, and we stagger the time. So we have an evening spot, then we have a lunchtime spot, and then we have a Saturday spot. So we are always doing our coaching, we're always doing our events to accommodate the needs of people. If people are a member and they miss an event, it goes on the members only site anyways, and it stays there forever. And so people can actually still continue to learn, even though they have a really busy schedule, because who's not busy this
Got it.
day and age?
Got it.
True.
So let's say I'm a BC member, I'm a Vancouver member, and I come on one of the shows in on Toronto or Ontario, and I see an expert speaking about a certain type of investment opportunity or a certain type of asset class they're involved with. What is the next, like, what's the step from, and I'm interested in possibly partnering with them or investing in that. What is the process there? Do they get in touch with you? How does that work?
Well, they're always able to contact that person directly. We don't hold people hostage or force you to work with us. But if you were to email myself and say, "Hi, I really liked that presentation on 𝗖𝗼𝗜 and August CPI, their apartment syndication, and I'd like to learn more. Can you connect me?" I would definitely connect, them to yourself and send you a note that says, "Hey, if August, I'd like you to meet so and so. They were on the presentation last night and they'd like to learn more about your investment opportunity." And I would probably make a mention on a separate note to you after that. Please note, I do not know this person. I don't know their capabilities, and I don't know anything. So take this as a grain of salt. And this is the difference between people. People also sometimes would contact you on their own, which is great. A lot of people try to contact our experts, our issuers on their own as well. And that's fine. I'm not holding anyone hostage, but I'm saying when it's someone in the real property investments community and the email intro always comes from myself, you go from the bottom of someone's email, because who's not averaging 500 emails a day, to all of a sudden I'm opening this email, and this connection means something. And if they're vetted from us, and I always will say, 𝗖𝗑 August, meet RPI member so-and-so, they're looking to learn about, then that's a vetted person. That I know that they have those funds. That their investment goal is to be in the US. Their investment goal is passive real estate. And that's what the synergies are already there. And they have that money to move forward, that they're capable to move forward. So in reality, when they talk to you and you go through the presentation to advise them on the opportunity, at that point, a chance of a sale happening is like 99%, because they're already qualified and you're already qualified in their eyes. So you're both two qualified leads meet, and that's when the magic really happens. So we always advise, like, we send people messages after and tell them about the community and try to get people to come on board, because the more we know about people, the more we can help people. If I don't know people, it's really hard for me to help them, and I can't afford to give unsolicited advice. So if someone just wants to jump on and ask questions and we never met them before, and this is why we do everything members only, it's a liability for me as well as for them, because advice can be very dangerous. And if I don't have that full background of their goals, of their history, of what they can and cannot do, then I'm, liable to give them some information that they may not execute correctly, or they may take out of context, and then that could be dangerous for them. So the more I know people, the more we can help. And when it's not what you know, and it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And so if I know you guys, and then someone knows me, and I know them, this is when those true connections come, because our members are all really great people as well. We have a huge retention of membership, and same type of people, very accomplished people, very smart people, and they just want to get their money working for them, but they're also very humble and down to earth people as well. Even though we get them doing some really amazing things.
Great.
I'm talking
Yeah.
getting people 6-figure incomes there. One of our members at 19 years old.
What?
He wanted to be a wholesaler. We just gave him a couple tips, and this guy took this information and went out. We have people doing house flipping.
And that was gonna.
And these are people who want their real estate business.
That's what I was going to ask you. As far as who would you say is the best fit for the real property investment the program? Like, what would be the avatar? Is it kind of across the board, early stages, somebody who doesn't know anything about real estate, somebody who wants to be totally passive because they already have their business, somebody who wants to be active? Is it, yeah.
Good question. No, that's a really great question. I will help anyone who wants to be helped and that will be helped, that will listen and will do the steps, because it is work to do. You have to, wealth doesn't come easy. There's work involved and there's steps. I could just expedite those steps in those journey. So I never discriminate. My goal is to teach everyday people to invest like the top 2%. Some people could be affluent people that are interested in still invest in these opportunities. Good for them. That's amazing that they do that. I'm certainly not going to turn that away, but I'm not searching for just those people. I'm not going to doctors and dentist's office and all these things. I'm helping anyone with just messages like this. And it's more the everyday people. And the majority, it comes in 2 clients, August. The majority of people are people that are not experts in the industry. They're accountants or they're IT. We have a lot of IT and a lot of engineers. Most of them are, anywhere from the adult age, maybe 30 to 55, and they've done really well for themselves. They went to work. They all are professional people. They're making between $75,000 to $250,000 a year. They have set aside, a lot of them have about $500,000 in registered funds. It's just underperforming and not working. And most are homeowners, and most have very low mortgages on their homes. And for most of our areas, especially in Toronto and Vancouver, a lot of people come with homes valued $1 to $3 million. And the only reason that is our Maritimes crowd is a lot different because the cost of housing is different. So this is where we were, we were going down that exact same path. We had high income earners, and we were had an asset, which is our primary residence in a high growth area. So obviously, as you pay down your mortgage, your wealth builds. And we had so it's kind of like you're asset rich and cash poor, because it's still hard to keep up and make the same amount of money. And the assets and the money that you are growing is underperforming. So these people really, they love working, but they want to go to work every day, knowing they don't have to be there. To them, that's the ultimate freedom. Some of them, and we've helped a lot of people, want to go from full-time to part-time because they want more freedom in their life, or they have a spouse that does. And we really, really help people work towards that as well. A lot of our people are married with children. I think they resonate to the whole family component, and getting their kids that help and building that legacy for their children. That is absolutely huge and really, really important for them, because they saw how we struggled with being able to, provide that post-secondary education. And real estate really can be an amazing vehicle to help you achieve these goals that seem impossible. So a lot of our people absolutely love that. But then we get some of these younger folks coming along, or single people, or new divorcees starting over. I mean, anyone that wants to learn and is willing to do the work. Like I said before, our youngest member is 19. He was working at Swiss Chalet. I think he was just graduating high school, and he wanted to learn to do wholesaling. And the look on his face when he held his first $10,000 check was just amazing. If you look at our members community now, you'll see another member who's not even 20 years old yet. And he's flipping he just put an offer in today, actually, on another flip property. And recently just listed a flip property in a very high growth area. And this property is listed now for $1.6 million. It was a high-end flip. He attracted a partner who believed in him. He did all his work, and he really went on as a free, almost JV partner for a lot of times before, really learning on the site and doing, on-site learning too, which was really amazing. And now he's due for almost $250,000 paycheck.
Wow. Good for him.
And he's 20 years old. This guy is such a nice, humble kid, and he's great. he's not even a kid, he's a man, I should say, because anyone who's old enough to have a conversation, but about real estate and investing, and it's just the mindset. I will not turn anyone away.
That's why we love you.
I will not.
That's why we love you. You're so genuine. You want to help people. And it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
I will help anyone that is willing to help themselves. And I truly believe that anyone, regardless of their situation, regardless where they come from, they can do this. If they can dig deep into themselves and really remember to believe in themselves and know that they can transform themselves. This is available for everyone. This is why when before COVID, I spent most of my time volunteering at employment agencies, people between jobs, doing inspirational talks and, teaching people about adults, the importance of creating residual income. Never mind joining as a member, but how does money work? New immigrants, they already have taken such a risk to come here and learn this new lifestyle. That's why they're so successful in real estate investing, because they're okay to move past their comfort zone. But if they don't know what to do, and this is options, like sky is the limit for them, as well as people who are going through tough times, marginalized sectors, people who are recovering from life. I guess we're all in recovery from life, but some are struggling more than others. And I really honestly believe in those stories. I really do believe that there's great potential in every human being. And I feel a responsibility to tap into that and to tell people, because most people go through their lives with people telling them how horrible they are. And they spend their days beating themselves up. And I really just wish everyone could just really see how amazing they are. And if they're really not amazing, well, why not start being amazing? Do something great. It's free. It's free to do something great. So
we have loved your energy from day one. Let our viewers know how they can get in touch with you. We'll also open it up for questions here in a moment after we've done the YouTube recording, but please let our viewers know how to get a hold of you.
Excellent. Well, our website's rpinvestments.ca, and I am on Instagram at rp.investments. And I think our Facebook page is Real Property Investments. We make ourselves easy to find.
Great.
Wonderful.
Great. We're going to just open. So just hold on, everyone. We're going to open it up for questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
okay,
Monika.
great.